Hello everybody, my name is Toy Freddy, and today I have a very special video. Now this is a different type of video than what I normally do, but it's content, so whatever. So, I am a massive Ben 10 fan, and I was thinking to myself while playing Marvel Rivals, how come there is not a Marvel Rivals style Ben 10 game? There's so many aliens, so many abilities, so many powers, I thought it would be really cool. Now, what I did was I made my own. So technically I didn't really make my own, I made what I think a concept would look like. So this is my take on what I think a Ben 10 Marvel Rivals style game would look like. Now I guess you also could say Overwatch or Team Fortress 2. Those are like the only battle games that I can really think of or Google would give me. But yeah, let's get right into it. Now, I think it's best to start off with what I made first, and what I think would be best to start off with, the hero roster, or the character roster for the game. Now, for the aliens I chose, I went for more, I would say widely accepted aliens. Not in the sense of fan favorites, but accepted in the style of I think they would be good for a game like this. Now, I was a little biased with the aliens I chose. I did go for many of my favorites along with some lesser known aliens. You know, let all these aliens get more of a spotlight. But I'm going to read off the character roster and then I'm going to tell you what they do to hopefully I remember. Okay, I'm going to try my best to get all of this in one straight shot. So, Chromastone, Fast Track, Upgrade, Brainstorm, Bullfrog, Ghost Freak, Wrath, Forearms, Blocks, Humongosaur, Blitzwolf, Heat Blast, Ball Weevil, NRG, Arctiguana, Wild Vine, Spider Monkey, Stinkfly, Feedback, Ripjaws, Diamond Head, Kickin' Hawk, Swampfire, Jerry-Rig, Armadrillo, The Worst, Snarrow, Cannonbolt, and Eye-Guy. I messed up a little, but it's fine. I'll just cut it. So yeah, those are the characters that I chose. Now, some of the characters I chose for the roster, I didn't want to make movesets for every single one of these guys, so just think that some of these characters work exactly like... I would say they're copy fighters to some Marvel Rival and Overwatch characters. Like Jerry-Rig or Jury-Rig, I would say would work similar to Rocket Raccoon, but instead of Rocket... Because Rocket starts off with a minigun, but I think how Jerry-Rig would work, because the type of alien he is, he builds things. I think it would be really cool that if somebody chooses Jury-Rig, there would be these boxes, or maybe when you shoot enemies, they'll drop stuff, and Jury-Rig will start off with this little pistol, but the more scraps or metal things or whatever he collects more of, he can upgrade into a bigger weapon. So that was kind of my plan for him. So yeah, they have counterparts. So certain characters I did kind of copy. I'm doing air quotes. You can't really see it, but I'm doing air quotes. Of their Marvel Rivals counterparts, what I feel like their Marvel Rival counterparts would be. I would say Ball Weevil would work like Jeff, the Land Shark. Just instead of, water, it's goo that explodes. Heat Blast would, of course, be, the Fantastic Four guy. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name. It's the Human Torch. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I'm not reading off a script. I'm kind of just making this up as I go, so I'm sorry. But, yeah, Spider Monkey, Spider-Man. The whole thing. Forearms would be, Ben Grimm, and... Okay, so... let me know in the comments if you think this is a good character roster. Now, I know there's going to be some people like, well, what about Accelerate? Or what about this guy? Or what about that guy? I did think about a lot of characters. A lot of my friends said, hey, you should add Alien X, or hey, you should add Clockwork, or hey, you should add Atomic. And I didn't want to add those since they're so overpowered, they just wouldn't feel right to be put in a battle game to where they could be beaten so easily. But yeah, I think that's it for the character roster, and we can move on to the next page. Okay, next up is alien profile. So this is just like the simple profile page that like you have in Marvel Rivals. It's just very simple. It just tells you about the alien, their difficulty level of like play style, about the alien and what they look like. It's not a very important page. There's not much to talk about, but it still felt like an important page, and so that's why I recreated it. I think my favorite part about this page is how I have like the Omnitrix, so like when Ben scrolls through his watch, it will show the little silhouette of which alien he wants to choose, and that's kind of what I did here for the profile. So yeah, there's not much to the profile. So I mean, but I thought it was important enough to include, and that's kind of it for it. I was gonna make more profiles, but I decided to only just do one, because this video has to be out by tomorrow. Quick, before we move on to the next page that's shown in the background here, I'm not reading off of a script, so I'm sorry if I'm scattered with what I'm saying. But let's move on to the next page. Now, the next page is the fusion page. Now, in Marvel Rival, they have these things called team-ups, to where two heroes can use their abilities together to get like a new ability. I took that concept and I did alien fusions. So this is just an example. This was this alien fusion is a real fusion shown in, I think, Ben 10 Alien Force, maybe? I can't remember. But it was used by Ben 10,000. He fused Upgrade and Jury Rig to make Uprig. So yeah, that's kind of what I just did here. It just shows if like you choose this alien, if somebody chooses this as alien, you guys can mash your aliens together to make one thing. Now, I haven't really thought about how it would work. What I would assume is you would get stronger, you would get more health, and you would get more abilities. But two people fusing together would mean one less person on the battlefield. So in a 5v5, it would then turn down to a 4v5 if two people fuse together. And I think what it would be is, like, the better player of the match. Like, the better player out of the two people fusing would be in control. So, like, if the person playing Upgrade had, like, 17 kills and only 1 death, but the person playing Jury Rig had, like, only 4 kills and, like, 5 deaths, the person playing Upgrade would be in control. So that way it's more of a like a set system instead of just you have a 50-50 chance of being in control. So I feel like it will reward star players, and just to make sure somebody can't just like instantly fuse with you so you don't have an option, I think you would both have to click the fuse button. So there would be like if you were within proximity of each other, you both can hit fuse to fuse with each other. So that was like, it's kind of like my plan there. But I tried to think it out as best as I could. I just thought it'd be like a cool idea. And that's kind of what I had for this page. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I can do a part 2 on this. So next page is the store, because I feel like a game like this, of course, you would have to have a store. Now, I didn't try to go for something too crazy with the store. It's very simple. You can just buy new skins for your aliens. I chose a couple different things here, so like different like universe versions of Ben. I even chose some of Gwen's aliens for when she had the Omnitrix one time. I can't remember what was in, but if you see at the top where it shows that little symbol, I'll zoom into it. It kind of looks like a DNA pod, and then Ben's Omnitrix symbol with the plus. Those are the two different types of currency. You need the DNA thing to purchase stuff. Yeah, so I will get back into like the currency stuff, but I try to think about like something really cool. So I feel like the names were the hardest part of putting this page together, because for like the version, because there was a version of Ben 10 who was like a Mad Max style. For the aliens that I chose for his, I kind of just put Spike in their name. So instead of Armadrillo, it's Spikadrillo. Instead of Diamond Head, it's Diamond Spike. Except for the RNG, I couldn't think of anything clever. But yeah, some of them just have like AF or OG. So like OG is like the original universe, Ben 10 aliens. OV would be Omniverse. AF would be Alien Force, and of course Gwen would be Gwen's aliens. But there's something like thought of funny with like Charcoal Man, which is like one of Ben 23's aliens, or like what he called Heat Blast. So I thought it would just be really neat to include like extra stuff like costumes and other stuff that you can buy. So yeah. Well, let me move on to the next page. Second to last page, this will be like the last like important one, and then we'll move on to what I was talking about. I'll come back to the currency thing. This is the play menu, so this is what you'd see before you start the game. You have your alien that you chose in the front, or like you could choose different aliens to display, and then you can have up to 5 people on a team. And the reason I did 5v5 is because it's Ben 10, so there would be like 10 aliens on the field at all times. Oh, other than fusions. But I thought it would be like just a neat idea to do 5v5, so that way there's 10 of them, Ben 10. But I try to keep everything in theme as possible. As you can see, like you'd have your username and other stuff. I try to keep simple, so I did copy a little bit of Marvel Rivals designs for it, but it's not supposed to be like its own thing. It's just supposed to be like what I think a Ben 10 Marvel Rivals game style would look like. But I mean, I tried my best. There's not much I can do, but I did the most for what I could. Now, I feel like there would be a bunch of game modes. I just went for quick game instead of it. And instead of a start button, you have a button that says hero time, because that's what Ben 10 yells before he goes alien. So I just thought that was clever instead of just putting start. But I feel like there would be like different game modes, like how Marvel Rivals right now has this game mode called 18v18. I think the Ben 10 game would have like 10v10. No, I haven't really thought of a name for what this game would be called. I think yeah, I do have some ideas. I'll tell you guys the ideas at the end, but this is what I have for quick play. Something really cool for like where you can add friends. I did it where it shows the little Omnitrix with the plus sign in the middle, so that way when you add somebody to your team, it will flash what alien they chose and then show their icon. If that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not great at explaining things. I've never really been good at trying to converse what I say. If that makes sense. I don't even know if I use that word right. But yeah, let's move on to the last page, and then I'll tell you the names ideas that I've chosen. This is the last page where you can buy like those DNA tubes, so that way you can get more skins and other stuff. I just went for a random amount, so this is like the largest amount you can get, kind of like how the the V-Bucks thing, where you can get like what I think is like a 13,000 or whatever. I just went for like a random number, but it's just like some of the things you just buy, the DNA tubes and other stuff. There's not much to explain here. I feel like I could go into more detail, I just don't really know how right now. I will try to make a part 2 on this video if the video gets, like, blown up. I think I'll make a part 2 if I get maybe 100 likes. 100 likes, or at least 500 views. Those are my goals for a part 2. And I think that's it for this page. Again, there's not much. So let me get into the names I've chosen for this game. Okay, so here are the names that I thought about choosing. Ben 10 Cosmic Clash, Ben 10 Rift Strike, Ben 10 Alien Storm, and finally Ben 10 Universes Unleashed. So those are my ideas for a Ben 10 Marvel Rival style game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, if I get 100 likes or 500 views, I will do a part 2. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!